Within the mountains, east of Gundabad, deep down where the sun doth shine and the glowing moss grows, lived the rock-known tribe of Wisteria. We were known healers, druids, and waxsmiths that lived within the roots of the ancient wisteria tree that bloomed up on the surface over our heads. We used sap from the tree for their healing and magic, as we used them in our wax seals. I, Dyt, was a budding healer druid, daughter of the head druidess Modro Wisteria, and next to take over the line of Wisteria. On one of the long nights of the crescent reed moon, as my mother ripped me from my slumber and shoved me through old caverns long forgotten, chaos ensued behind us. Goblins had invaded our tribe in tunnels as my mother shoved me through an old opening I had never seen and was long forgotten. Run, and never forget you are a Wisteria. My mother pleaded as she shoved her powerful staff of woodlands into my hands before kissing me and turning back to the goblins that filled the cavern. Among the goblins stood one in armor with a scarred and bloodied ferocious grin, one I would never forget, and one I would discover through my travels later, was known as Bloodthorn. My mother clapped her hands together and said an invocation I had never heard as earthquakes suddenly ripped through the mountain. I narrowly escaped the cavern as it collapsed behind me, crushing everything I had known and loved. The only thing I had left was my mother's staff and a shard of an amethyst crystal that grew within the roots of the wisteria tree. I traveled from town to town helping people with my good berry and healing, looking for a new place to call home. I took to also growing my own herbal smoke blend that people seemed to enjoy and purchase from me. I called it the Dark Crystal. One evening while at a local inn, I had been drinking tea and minding my own business when I felt a slight tug at my satchel. I slyly grabbed my staff and tapped it against the ground as vines sprung from the floor, entrapping the thief that was trying to nab my goods. A very embarrassed copper-colored kobold hung from my viney grasp as I sipped tea patiently and listened to him explain how stones and shiny things were his weakness. I advised how it was unwise to steal from a healer druid, as my intentions are only to heal, and returned my family's amethyst shard back to its satchel. The kobold thanked me for not hurting him, or worse, and introduced himself as Reek. Since then, he and I had been traveling together, I to keep an eye on his mischievous ways, and he to look out for me and protect me from the world's own mischief and darkness. Together we banded with the rest of our party, Magix the Dragonborn, Sayori, Leovan, and Grendor the Mountain Dwarf, to go on a world-saving adventure for our mutual acquaintance, Benton the Wizard.